Greetings! My name is Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. Welcome back to Sunless Sea. We've done, I think, everything there is to be done here. Let me just look around. And how lucky we are to be alive right now. In the worst island in the world. No. Yeah. So, we're done with that depressing business. Now then, where do we go next? Alright. Khan's Heart? Or maybe Khan's Glory? I think. One of those two. Why do we need to go there again? I forget. Anyways, let's go. Well, first, probably to get more fuel and or to get more fuel for one. Oh, no, we'll probably be fine. Yeah, it's been a bit since I've last played this game because I've already got plenty of a backlog, and frankly, probably a bit much to even be recording it now, but I'm a dangerous rebel. Mad, bad, dangerous to know. Yes, lure the adventurers to wrack. A London captain smokes Kaganian pipe as she admires the reflection of the street lamps in the water. Spin her a story of lights, cameras, action. No. You sidle beside her and comment on the water. It's beautiful how the city ripples, isn't it? It reminds you of a port you once came across, you say. A place where they light their way with colored fire and dine on fish-fed flowers. She need only find the red and white lights beneath the waves. The captain huffs. Blue smoke streams through her nose. She dumps her ash into the water and sits off for the docks without another word. She'll be sailing over Iraq in no time. Good times. Alright, there are no laws specifically forbidding the seating of Flemingans on Khan's Heart. It is unlikely to make you popular, however. Yeah. Indeed. Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Fine. A victory for discretion. The damp and dark places of the city are fertile ground indeed. In the months that follow, Blemigans stalk the guttering of Khan's Heart. Pollulate in the shadows of the alleys. They menace citizens after dark with their sinister poetry. They steal dogs and housebats and the occasional baby. Trade, prosperity, and security suffer outrageously. But by then, you are long gone. You've been struck by a smooth criminal. Let's see. Seek another opportunity. All this scrolling. Diplomatic agent. That's just straight up worse than the other one. Okay. You know what? Fuck it. I'm feeling lucky today. Boom! Oh yeah, 36% chance of success. Not even close. One of the white ghouls, the enforcers of the Khanate's order, came a little too close to your network. That was a mistake. The crabs didn't leave much. The diplomat's people are ruthless, and your project continues. Glorious. Let's see. You get a port report, but honestly, I'm not certain it's worth it considering the... Well, I've got a lot of drowning pearls, actually. Fuck it. Alright, Netright Quitter. Anything here I care about? I could get another mirror catch box, why not? Other than that, not really. Huh? Okay, is there anything I need to do in Khan's Glory, though? Or, yeah, Khan's Glory. Okay. Nothing here. Ooh! Oh, no, never mind. Hang on. This isn't on the wiki. Have a discreet meeting with a certain official. There are some places where Karganian agents have a hard time setting foot. They will pay you for your eyes and ears. Having shown the horse head to a specific man, you are welcomed, then led by boat to your destination. Welcome! The voice is soft and seems to belong to a man. Oh, you wish to work for us? Good, my friend, very good. Here, take this. He puts a piece of paper in your hand. Go there, in Khan's heart. Someone will listen to you. You're escorted out on foot, then in a boat, then on the ground again. As they remove your blindfold, one of them whispers, "We are watching you, friend." Alright, I was apparently expected in Khan's heart, apparently. Let's see. Where... What do I do here? Nephite Quarter? No. Well, I needed the pewter horse head, so maybe I use it here? I'm afraid of losing it, though. Well, nothing for it. If nothing else, well, fortunately I always back up my saves, so worst case scenario, I just have to do a bit of save going. Oh, a spicy evening. You show the talisman rather cautiously to a clutch of captains chatting by their warship. One grabs it cheerfully and claps you on the shoulder. "I've heard about you! Come on, I'm buying." With more friendliness than Kaganians usually show, they drag you off to a little place by the park and fill you with rare spiced seaweed and elder continent wines. They grumble about Chelinate delinquency, the idiot children of Khan's shadow, and, until they remember you're there, the London captains cluttering up the clean Z. Alright. What's that, then? An anonymous shop. This is the address your friend gave you. The boutique looks just like the ones next to it. This spice merchant will hear what you have seen, though, and maybe even pay you. Yep. Alright, here we can trade port reports to the Khanate instead of London, which varies in value. I know some of these places are, quite a few of these places are straight up less efficient. Others, however, I've got a chart here. It's quite complicated. There's a... Alright. Port Cecil. Port Cecil. It's not properly aligned either, so it's a bit tricky to figure out which ones. Well, no, actually, I've got a little cheat sheet here to summarize the chart. Let's see. No. Okay. When the ones with the best ones to send to the Khanate are the Grand Geode, Comune Canal, and Port Carnelian. Human Canal, especially considering it's worthless in London. And then the other ones you want to give to the Khanate are, for somewhat less of an advantage, are Abbey Rock, Chelenate, Shepherd Isles, and Vendibite. Everything else probably should give to London, unless you really want the favors. Okay. I don't get it. Why would Postman go there? I don't know if there's any... I don't actually know if there's flavor text for these, unlike, because I mean, most of them don't actually have additional flavor text. And then... Oh, you know what? This is serious treason to London. Indeed. I might as well turn in all of them at least once. Just like with London. Where's Cecil? There was Skintalak there. I wonder why the Drownies haven't claimed it yet. Because there's more than Skintalak there. Yeah, no flavor text, as usual. Godfall. Pirate monks. Maybe that slag might feel a bit too hard on their heads. Perhaps. Yeah, see, a lot of these are just not very useful. Not very good. Because they're less echoes and no free fuel. But some of them are quite good. I know the Khan's Heart and Khan's Shadow ones are much better at London. Anyway, I like them. They are pleasantly quiet. Yeah, don't ask why. My logic behind giving this person this voice. Or any person, any voice, really. It's all just random, pretty much. I don't get it. Why would Postman go there? That is a very complicated question. Now, tell me, are the surfacers up to something? They sure sound trivials. Yes, I mean trivials of no importance. Still, tell me more. Let me guess. Nothing to report? Jesus. Yeah, not the most rewarding, frankly. But maybe Kagani favor is useful in some way. I don't know. Yeah, true. Why are these people staying there? For the mushrooms, I imagine. I went through the Red Stallion story involving a clay man who fell in love. I know of a story like that. That I myself had to investigate. It was not a pleasant one. Not something that will be published to the Red Stallion, I imagine. C369. If only it was 600 more. Exactly. The monkeys. You should stay away from them if you value your soul. For once, I must agree with you, Londoners. This embargo is a good thing. After all, we all know what they did. Yeah, we all know what they did, obviously, viewer. Who wouldn't? News from the continent. Excellent. Bring us more like this. Alright. 2 Khanate favor. Oh. Eastval. Zun. Zun? That's weird. I know there's a whole nautical Z, but that's a weird place to put it. Can you see from the great blue sky? Can you see the great blue sky from there? The Chelenate. Disgusting savages, filthy parasites. We should wipe them out for good. Jesus. Tell me how you really feel. Your contact opens surprisingly wide eyes. You cruised past the luminous ships? They really serve the machine? This place concerns us even more than London. Yeah. But does it concern you more than it concerns London? Is the question. Ah, 3 Khanate favor. Report submitted. The Kaganian asks a million questions, an air of real concern distorting his face. You can't really tell if this is good or dread news. Obviously, this intel will bring you a substantial profit, but the great game may be moving in an unpleasant direction. Isn't it always? Hanseto, it's perfectly under control. Don't bother yourself with it. Sometimes I wonder if all this is very moral. I highly doubt it. May I ask you to write that again? I'm afraid I have trouble understanding it all. Buddy, I have trouble understanding it all. Adam's Way. Don't sail south. Not if you value your life. Alright, that's that then. Thank you, Captain. If you ever need tea or spices again. Done. Out into the street. Trying to look like a traitor, spy, agent. Whatever helps you sleep at night. I just consider myself a merchant. Doesn't matter to me so much if it's goods or information. Is it good? Oh, didn't I have? All right. Obviously, they're not going to be interested in Port on Khan's heart. Actually, I guess they would be. It could be kind of interested. Partly, you know, just to see how a foreigner would see it. You know, and partly, you know, to avoid me just paying me off to not give it to the London. Let's see. Use your favorites. You have relations and contacts amidst the palaces. Make good use of them. Let's see. Yes. Alright. Shops and shipyard. Oh. Alright, I can buy Timon's Mercy with 5 of them. Levels of Ascension. Can buy supplies with 2. What's that about the shipyard? Carabear class Steed. The Kiganians still name their ship classes after surface horses. This one belongs to a lighter one than the heavy war Trimarans, and was originally called a Z-Steed before some lazy sailors shortened it. Z-Steed sounds a lot easier to say than Steed. Steed? Yeah. Anyways, it doesn't have a forward slot. It's got probably better hold capacity. If the... That's just less quarters, which is both good and bad. Less hull. Meh. Honestly, I'd say the Corvette is just is better for the most part. Okay. Well, those favors are not nearly as useful as I had hoped. Where am I going? Right. I'm gonna pick up some fuel from the Nephrite quarter, assuming it's a decent price. I forgot to check. If not, well, I can just... This fuel might last me till London. Or it might not, and I might die. Such is life. 15. I'll get a bit. Just enough to ensure that I make it to London. And if it gets a bit too low for my liking, well, I can just stop using full power for a bit. I've got plenty of supplies. Let me just nip on over to Frostfound real quick. Ooh! Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot about this. Extract the Clatery heart. The Clatery air leans over the deck rail. There, in the ice, the searchlight catches what might be a hole. It might be a very large gizzard. Preparing an approach. The Clatery air presents herself on deck. Ugh, I don't need to see that. She carries a bag full of sharp blades and serrated blades. Short, strong blades, toothed blades like saws, long-handled shears, knives whose edges are invisible. She's ready to cut with glass, or with diamond, or with fire, as required. Nice. Alright. The Clatery air has sliced away great blocks of Frostfound ice and pulled them into a wall. Behind them, the shape of the Clatery heart is evident, but the whole flesh is blue with cold. Alright, bring it to health. It is shocked, she says, and numb. It will need a cure. Darn. Inert. The Clatery air pummels the whole flesh with her fists. She scrapes it away accumulated ice with a strigil. She breathes on it and lays her cheek next to it. Cratery heart doesn't stir. If I had failed that, I would have been mildly irritated. Implements of war. The cratery air builds a fire. She whistles an infuriating popular tune. She massages the whole flesh with brandy and piles otter pelt over its raw, frostbitten flanks. She speaks to it in the native tongue of the first city, a language cluttered with velar stops. In the 5th hour of these rituals, the heart begins to thrum again. It wants to be free of the ice. It wants to move. It wants to swim. South, says the air. Wait for us in Port Carnelian. It isn't safe to change ships here. The heart beats twice before taking a new heading. Now the Cleary heart waits in Port Carnelian. If you wish to make it your ship, you'll have to go there and come to some agreement with the air. Alright. Let's see. That can wait a bit. Actually, it can wait a while. I need, if I recall, if I want to ensure that I can actually keep both the Cleary air and the ship, I need to do this, which needs a few more Cleary souvenirs. The moment though, I don't really have. Oh, that reminds me of something. Here we go. I could proposition the dancing technician. Don't worry, I don't intend to actually get into romance with her. That could cause issues. The scion and all. I mean, it's not that I'm not interested, but a romantic confession. The other day, your boat had made a pass at me, and we've made dinner plans for the next time we have shore leave, she confesses. I wasn't sure how Londoners are about romance at sea, and I was afraid you'd forbid it. Let's see, I could... But this, a shipboard romance, and it's not yours? Forbid the romance? Allow the romance, or... Because it would be rather hypocritical to do otherwise, wouldn't it? Or treat them yourself. Why didn't you say so sooner? Got a feast to prepare! Yeah, why not? A merry date. Food, wine, candles, music. You spend the evening treating your bosun and the technician to everything a couple could wish for. Though it seems they only have eyes for each other. Before they retire, the technician skips up to you, kisses your cheek, and whispers the truth into your ear. Then is swept off her feet and away before you can respond. Well, that was a cheering interlude. You helped the romance to flourish. That was nice. Let's see. Let me just cross-reference that to my Blemigan cheat sheet. Frost found. Now. Should I enter here? I've got the element of dawn. That can certainly save me a bit of bother. And I definitely need to go here at some point. Is now the right time? I might as well put it off. I suppose. I don't really need to do it at the right now. And I can definitely... and it'll be better off doing it later on when I have a few more stats, you know? Very tough challenges in there. Besides, if I do it now, I'll be somewhat obligated to, you know, go and do the rest, because that's easily the hardest part. And then I'd just, that would be something of a waste of my, well, whatever. Okay. Don't need to do anything here, just grabbing the port report. I don't think I have any business there, but I might as well, again, pick up the port report. Oh, and maybe put a Blummigan ashore. Maybe this. Is this the one that can actually? I can also probably attend a service. Let's see. Couple of lights. Yes. With a backwards glance. It goes cautiously, but it goes. Maybe caught and eaten, but you suspect the chapel's faithful have more appetite for juicier dishes. There we go, another 7. Perhaps another sporule. Let's see. Attend a service of the chapel. The great bell tolls. It tolls for thee. The few and ragged faithful gather in the rosy light of St. Cerise. Bring your offerings. Got plenty of supplies. I can do this. There were 3 descents, the priest confides, before the betrayal. The first descent was that which was given for that which was promised. The drowned man makes no promises to us. He gives us only lessons. For the second, the hunters of echoes remembered the ways of sunlight and learnt the stories of the heart. The drowned man's heart was flensed, and we will taste it. The third, oh, the treacherous walkers of the river's shadow. They snared the echo hunters. This began the chain of tales which concluded in the drowned man's first feast. So praise that treachery. The priest speaks of cities fallen and stories risen. These are the times the earth opened. His red of faith rose in the times after. A shadowed figure watches from the darkest corner of the apse. The worshippers studiously ignore it. Alright. 5 supplies for a secret? That's a damn good trade. You take that trade? I'd take that trade. Anyone will take that trade. That's a damn good trade. Okay. I'm gonna go for this, for another one? Sure. Darn. Hang on. You know what? Huh. You know what? I'm happy with that. I didn't progress this, but hey, got another secret for 5 supplies. I'm not mad. Okay. What am I? I don't know what I was looking for in there. I don't know why I just went there. I should come back there with a bunch of supplies and just keep doing that until I eventually actually progress. Maybe I should even lower my page's stat. I mean, it's also at the cost of terrors, of course, but 10 terrors and 5 supplies for a secret. Yeah, pretty good. Ah, engage an officer. Ah yes, you will do nicely. I need a ship, dear heart, and I rather flatter myself that you need me. Welcome aboard. The modiste neither packs lightly nor suffers fools gladly. One solitary scratch on my steamer trunks from you sniveling little homunculi, and I take the whole blessed lot of you apart at the seams. She turns back, her lips curling into a smile. As I was saying, Captain, you really must try to take the waters here before our cruise. Most invigorating, Brimstone. She has no difficulties with blood. She very much dislikes bloodstains. Yep. My sincerest apologies to the Fallen London player from whom this character was based on. From whom? That's a weird way to phrase it. Yep. Pretty good first officer. 8 irons, 3 veils, plus 1 hearts. Not as good as, say, an one, but pretty good. Let's see. Have the ordinary human male descend into Mount Palmerston. A devil smuggler can arrange transportation. For a cost. Yeah, a cost of knowledge. They said, I'm as much a knowledge dealer as I am, any other goods. An impossible journey. I must warn you, It will be very hot inside. Your frail human skin may crumble. I am not afraid, the ordinary human male says, glancing away nervously. And then they go. Sometime later, you catch sight of the pair coming back down the mountain. And to your astonishment, the ordinary human male is entirely unharmed. He cradles a soul, golden and gleaming, and when he and the devil have parted ways, he immediately swallows it. On approach, he sees your questioning gaze. Captain, I have something to confess, he says. He stalks silent for 30 seconds, and then bustles onto the ship. The human male needs wine. Lots of wine. How much wine? 3 entire casks. Your unsuspicious chef has been avoiding you. Some wine may help him break his silence. A lot of wine. A drunken confession. It takes a lot of wine before the chef's demeanor changes. You have been good to me, Captain, the ordinary human male says to you, but I am afraid I have deceived you. For you see, I have a terrible secret. He's got a terrible secret? Huh. I never would have suspected him. He leads you to a hidden section of the hold before he proceeds any further. In the depths of the hold, the ordinary human male faces you. Here I will reveal to you the truth, he says. For you see, he leans in close. I am not actually a human. Don't lean in close like that. It'll burst my eardrums. What? You could never have seen this coming! Or, you're surprised. It was fairly obvious. I'm sure you could guess where this is going. A hopeful look. I am glad of this. Then I take it this will not be a surprise? With a flourish, he removes his disguise. A foul stench fills the hold. A cascade of slime coats the floor. Goodness, there are a lot of teeth. Yeah, I'm sure everyone at home is like, oh, obviously. No, what could he possibly have been other than this? I'm sure absolutely none of you are in the slightest surprised. Yep, that was pretty much what you were expecting. A hopeful look. Truly, I am only 1/5 human, he says in a much smaller voice. As for the rest, you may see for yourself. So now you know my terrible secret. The one that everyone at home already knew, obviously. I'm sure. Your ordinary human male says, as he pats his disguise back on. Now that you know, what will you do with me? By all means, stay. The human has proven himself. Nothing has changed. Obviously, I already knew everything. Of course, everyone already knew. Joy coats his clay-covered face. I thank you, Captain, he says. Speak to me on another occasion. There is something more that I wish to discuss with you. This must mean I'm disgusting. So yeah, I now have... Where is he? Yes. An extraordinary human male. There's something truly special below his surface. Hearts plus 8, irons plus 8. Me minus 2. Don't. Honestly, I think I still prefer the Nacria Survivor. Higher total stats, and it's in stats that I care about more. Anyways. I'm done with you. Now that you know what he eats, you can dine with him properly. When he's not in the kitchen, he can usually be found helpfully mopping the deck, cleaning away his own grey footprints. Anyways, now, is there anything else? I don't think there's anything else. Well, besides... Oh, god damn it, I forgot that you need something awaits you to do that one. I hate that it doesn't tell you, but I don't know. Yeah. Might as well refill in supplies here. Let me just quickly get that. Yeah. Honestly, that whole thing with the ordinary human male is one of my favorite storylines in this whole thing. Just the way it's so obviously set up the twist, but then still does have a twist, but a completely different one than it than the obvious. Oh, it was great. Let's see. Oh, right. Forgot about that. Oops. Okay. Never mind. That was a waste of time. Forgot that I still had to do that. I think I had to deliver to London, maybe? Probably. I haven't been to London in ages. Okay, now I gotta swing to Wither. And also there's something else I need to do. Besides, I think, in Codex, maybe? No. Actually, I think I do. Well, no. I can get these better. More. I need, I think, 3 of these for something. I think it was 3. Yeah, but yeah, 3 Doom Monster Hunters for something important, but I can get those cheaper. It'll just take a little bit of doing. Alright. Do more unread logs if I care about that. Which I don't. Not particularly anyways. But I don't have a pneumatic mist sender. What? Let me just... Maybe I should have gotten more supplies instead. Yeah, well. Alright, plant the second corner of the final map. Do you reckon this will be a good spot? Is that right, do you reckon? The cartographer fashions a second shrine from the ivory on a stone in the high part of town, the tiny idol facing southeast. Did you know I was born in Wither? He asks. Fascinating place, isn't it? Now, we'll be heading south to our next destination soon. If so, could we perhaps stop briefly in London? Could you give me some directions while we're there? Yes, I never would have guessed that you were born there. Cheeky bugger. Alright, and now we fish for harlot fries. I'd rather we do this with a bit more crew, since we could potentially lose a decent chunk of them, but oh well. Such is life, and such is death. And I got storm detection. Okay. Not that useful at the moment. Now we fish. Oh, a walk by the shore. The black Z whispers on the beach. Another soft sound is audible above the waves. Alright, here we go. Finally. A castaway. I lose my pages anyways. Yeah, if I had a strange catch, I could trade that for a harlot fry, but that would cost me a strange catch, and also I wouldn't get the Stygian ivory that I could get otherwise. Unfortunately, yeah, approaching it and all that. Yeah, I've got a small chance, relatively small chance of success. However, failure still effectively succeeds. I just lose crew in the process, which is a perfectly good trade because crew are not exactly hard to come by. Alright, obliterate it. It's a formidable beast, but you're formidable too. A terrible toll. The beast's scales are proof against pistol shot, and it wreaks terrible havoc before you manage to bring it down. You harvest its bones and scrape its hatching young from along the rocks by the shore. Yeah, well. Also, next time I really need to swap out my officers before I just do all that stuff. But yeah. So yeah, now I got a Harlot Fry and the Easter Genevri. Now I just need to do that like 2 or 3 more times. Well, let's see. I need to. This is all for the armless hunter. He needs this up, and let the Harlot Fries give plus 20. I need to get it to 100. I've got it at 11, which means I need another. Another 89. And Harlot Fries give plus 25 and some nice and quite good value. So that'd be with 3 of them. That'd be 75. That'd be 86. Then I just need like a couple prisoners or live specimens. Prisoners and live specimens are worth the same, but with live specimens you also get most of the value of the live specimen as well. By trading it. Prisoners, on the other hand, you lose quite a bit of their value. Although they don't have much value to begin with. So yeah, I've got a live specimen here, so that's 96. Okay, yeah. And then I just need to give him what? I just need to get a prisoner or a live specimen or even a tomb colonist, actually. Yeah, I think I could pick up one of those. Okay. But first, I need to get 2 more Harlot Fries, which means yet more waiting. I'll spare you, as usual. Heth! I am invincible! A ferocious battle. With cutlass and with pistol, your sailors stride into battle. The serpent obviously expected nothing of the kind. It essays a number of savage strikes against you, and then a lucky shot takes it in the eye. You harvest its bones, and scrape its hatching young. Yeah, mad. Alright. Just one more. Here we go! Finally, that didn't take quite as long as I feared. Took a bit, though. And we succeeded again. Alright. 2 out of 3 successes. That's pretty good. Especially considering the one failure had a much lower chance of success than the others. Alright. Now then we replace everything. Didn't shift like this. I don't know. And which one did I have? I forget. I keep that one, honestly. Alright. There we go. Alright, we've got... Oh. I had the music turned off. It was slightly grating on me. Anyways, so, yeah, okay, we got those. And we got more Stygian ivory than we need. For now, anyways. I'll need quite a bit of it later. I love the whole fire, that immediately fire again aspect of the blue skinned lack. Alright, let's grab some fuel and supplies. Now we swing by Venderbite. To finally finish the first curator stuff. Alright. Here we go. We have everything, I think. Wait. Okay, yeah, okay. That was what I don't know why that's way below. I was a bit worried for a second. Alright, you're a Parthian chess piece. Oh yes. It also wants cage frail fingers. That's what it also wants? The curator cups its hands over the soft, glowing chess piece. Its face, you see now, is masked with copper. Its fingers wither in the light. A curl of smoke rises, but it only clutches the chess piece tighter. The sea, it whispers. I smell the sea. You smell scorched dust, but here's your payment, in rubies of antique cut. The curator seems happy. Oh yeah, I forgot, I got a shit ton of captivating treasures. I think from the Nadir Palace or something. I was worried I'd have to get more. I'd have to get some, but no. Alright, your radiant cinder. I smell star. Beside the curator's couch waits a humped machine of iron and brass. It wheezes, straining to raise its arm, and I'm straining to actually imitate a person with their voice. I'm struggling to... whatever. A recess, approximately the size of the cinder, awaits. You place the cinder there and close the lid. Faint and atonal music, like the pricking of starlight, drifts from within. I will never see Parabola, the curator wheezes, but perhaps you will. Take this mirror. It was born in a volcano. Dark glass, serpent carved. Oh, it's a bit easier if I hold my hand to my throat in a certain way. Makes it easier to imitate a wheezing person. Yeah. If you're part of Violinic, we would have made a better contract, but we hungered for the flesh of gods. The flesh of gods? Is the first curator one of the God Eaters? For reference, the God Eaters are the ones who ate Mr. Eaton. And yeah, that's not exactly very helpful. They're from the third city, to be specific. A stained finger. It extends a brittle arm from beneath its coverlet, dips it in the ink, conveys the finger back to its hidden mouth. It sighs. The color will enter my bones, and then, perhaps, the moth. It's plainly rambling, but at least it hasn't forgotten your reward. A cameo of a bandaged beauty painted on the mummified palm of a mummified hand. Alright, not to everyone's taste, but it's terribly well executed. Alright. Receive a final reward. Your eternal reward. It reaches up to clasp your hand. I am grateful. You don't know what you've done to me. Accelerated the growth beneath the flesh. Spared me the sanatorium. Here, my dissolution. A birth. The curator moves faster than you've ever seen, flinging its arms back, as if in delight. Its chest pulses, then crumbles inwards. It cries out softly and turns its masked face to watch you. Its chest crumbles like damp clay. Something damp and sleekly shining pushes out. Antennae rustle. Faceted eyes glisten. The curator's hand reaches up to caress the creature, and then goes still forever. It frees itself, flexing damp wings. A moth of prodigious size. Its wings are figured with patterns in familiar colors. Pelican, Lyric, Irigo. The moth perches at the head of the sofa. You've never seen one this big, if you know what I mean. Its wings are a whole library of glyphs, clues, ink-blot images. It is finished, you magnificent bastard, the obscuricious steward says behind you, though he seems less obscuricious now. What does obscuricious mean again? obedient to an excessive or servile degree. Right. All shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. But first, we gotta choose a reward. That's interesting. Okay, so yeah, we can choose between 4 things. We can accept the steam yacht deeds, which it's an okay ship. It's good. It's good with this one mod that I have, that allows for that makes it so that getting the deed to that ship, well, the deed that your successors will inherit that deed. So it's good for, like, getting it that getting it then in order one time, so that people afterwards can get a free ship that's better than the starting ship, because it definitely is better than the starting ship. Gives decent capacity, got some stat bonuses, pretty nice. But yeah, compared to the other rewards, it's not really that great. I'll definitely get it next time. On my next captain. Which will be more or less dedicated to, because, like, after this run is mainly going to be, like, I'm going to, like, push this run as far as I can and everything, and then my later runs will be mostly, like, going around grabbing all the legacies and shit. And then after I grab, like, all of the persistent stuff, then I shall do, and only then shall I do the final ambition. Then we get the huge trove of secrets, and by huge they mean 9. Also, pretty good. Certainly quite good. As is the 7 treasures, which, yeah, both of those are a great deal of wealth. On the other hand, we can instead take only the moth. It's watching you. Does it remember the flesh it dwelt in? It spoke often of the Z. Perhaps it would like to travel. The other rewards are all good, but they will run out in usefulness, so to speak. They're all things that these 2 are things that you can get in other places, after all, and this one isn't all that good. This, however, is the best mascot in the game. Also, it's just sort of, thematically appropriate. Although that line amuses me, to be sure. Of course, it's avarice. If it's avarice that motivates you, I must admit I am, myself, most motivated chiefly by avarice. Man to my own heart. But yeah, the moth. It seems the most, fitting ending. In the hand, it glides to your wrist like a falcon. The furred scales of its wings are thick as carpet fibers. It smells of wax and frost. Bend your head closer. If you can't hear it speak, perhaps you can read meaning in its wings. Keeper moth. Its wings carry 1,000 years of memories. Few of those memories are good. So yeah. If you're confused by what the hell just happened, well, you see, as I say, like, the tomb colonists are those who, obviously death is not exactly easy to come by in the Neath. So, the tomb colonists are those whose bodies have worn down over the years, and many deaths and everything. That's like however, beyond that, eventually it gets to a point where, like the first curator, your body is so worn down that you can hardly do anything at all, even more so than the tomb colonists themselves. And so there are 2 main options that tomb colonists do once they reach the end of their lifespan, so to speak. They can go to the Grand Sanatorium, which is I'm not entirely certain what the deal with the Grand Sanatorium is. It's sort of a place, sort of a last resting place or something. And apparently it's a pretty horrible place from what I've heard. I don't know. You'd have to ask someone else. I haven't really explored the lore around it much. Or others will go go up to the surface or some other place suffused with sunlight and die permanently. But a third option is metamorphosis. Essentially, your body becomes a cocoon for an emerging moth. A frost moth, to be specific. Which is what the keeper moth is. And yeah, it's hard to say whether this is simply a creature emerging from you, from your corpse, or if it's actually you transforming into a moth. They don't exactly speak much, but they do ferry messages to the dead, and more importantly, from the dead. So, I don't know. It's a complicated business, to be sure. Yeah, it's got very nice hold capacity and all that, but meh. It doesn't even have... Yeah, it doesn't even have a forward slot, much less an aft one. Ooh, pirate steam pennants. Bonk. Too bad you don't get prisoners from this. Yeah, well. That was weird. Wait. Okay, good. I was afraid the music was off, but no, it's just not kicking in yet. Alright. The lights of London at last. Well, lights, so to speak. Oh, line bruiser. His whole deal. I'll have to pick up stuff like that. Oh, a boarding action. A sudden boil of bodies at the rail. Wire sailors were sighing over the lights of London. Armed foreigners were slipping up the side of the ship. They wear tight-fitting uniforms and carry complicated multiplicities of blades. The Presbyterate adventuress curses apologetically. Out of time, she says. Assassins from the college. Yes, they're here for me. No, I didn't mention it. Yes, you're right to be cross. If you want to give me up, that's fair. She offers you her pistol. I listened to her, one of the assassins adds in perfect English. This is a sacred duty. I'll pay you a sacred price. Bugger that for a game of soldiers. What's a gang of unexpected assassins between friends? Have at thou. Ooh! Somebody stop me! A furious defense. The assassins fight fiercely and in near silence. Your crew sunders the silence with yells and shots, and the adventuress outdoes them all with whoops of fierce delight. At last, you drive the assassins back over the side. They take to their coracles, and wisp into the night. Your casualties are lighter than you'd feared. Alright, the adventurer says, lowering her blade. Alright. Oh, and thanks, she adds, almost as an afterthought. Alright, I still lost one crew, but I protected the adventuress, and I gained 1 iron. Nice. You do have some unorthodox officers, but you draw the line at assassin magnates. I owe you an explanation, don't I? What I'm about to tell you is a deep secret. A college secret. But people have died. I owe you an explanation. That you do. None shall live 1,000 years. In the Presbyterate in the south, we're close to the mountain and far from the sun. So we could live forever, were that permitted. It isn't. The law is, none shall live 1,000 years. My father made it to 1,011. She grins with shamefaced pride. Good for him. Bad for his children. The law for me is thou shalt not live 100 years. I'm out of time. That's why I left the Navy. The college will get to me. They always do in the end. And I can't keep letting other people die for me. She stands to go. Will you help me find a way to die well? In battle would do. Or a duel. I don't want to be, oh, you know, just shot by a pirate, eaten by a shark. I want people to talk after I'm gone. She offers you her hand. I'm sorry. Don't be. Fucking College of Mortality. A blight upon the seas. I mean, it's already bad enough that the Presbyterate monopolizes immortality among its own people. That is already vile and evil. But to even limit their... But to even persecute and oppress their own citizens with such... disgusts me. Nuncio Deliverance. A neatly wrapped brown paper package. The corners are crisp and tight. The address has been printed in large block letters with scrupulous care. The sender has applied double the necessary number of postage stamps. They must have been very determined to get it here. There is no return address. Gratitude. The wrappings fall away. In a glass case of emotion, a stuffed postal rat is locked in mortal combat with a preserved Blumigan. The taxidermist's skill is evident. There is tension and fury in each line of their tiny bodies. There is also a note. I was charged to deliver this elsewhere, but you did me a service I must repay. If the bazaar can abandon its duty for a greater cause, so too may I. Alright. Grab some recent news. That'll come in handy next time I go to Khan's Glory. Let's see. It's nice to be back in London. At last. I need to speak with another agent. Alright. This seems like a good place to stop. More or less. Yeah, I really need to offload this Sphinx Stone, but I can't just offload 10. That'll be silly. Oh, right. The cartographer's friends in London. He'll need your help to be shown around. An exercise in futility. Trying to direct the cartographer is an endless source of frustration. He spends his time with a pair of outdated maps raised high, setting out in the wrong direction regardless of what you say, dropping one and chasing it down the street. It's during one of the latter embarrassing excursions from the path that you abruptly find yourself surrounded. Pardon us, Captain, says the ringleader says as he unfurls a long whip. It's come to our attention that the pair of you may be looking for something. That means it falls to us to send you a little message. Gang advances swiftly. And yourselves. These ruffians shan't have their way with you. A well-deserved thrashing. The second time I've been cornered by ruffians and had to show them the door, so to speak. And I've only been in London for a couple minutes. My kind of town. The gang is uncoordinated and entirely unprepared for the likes of you. You bloody the nose of one and send the rest squealing away, proverbial tails between their legs. Your cartographer ambles back, seemingly none the wiser. I don't believe they live here anymore, he says with a shrug. Shall we move along? For fuck's sake. Had to go through all that. Ask him about the attack. You were nearly whipped to within an inch of your life, damn it! You deserve answers. Ah, yes, about them. I'm afraid I wasn't entirely forthcoming with you. Whoever is. Just once I'd like to have just an officer that is just straight with me from the start. But no. Flushing Vig. I once served another captain, a scoundrel of the worst sort, who had me ejected from her ship when I complained of her misdeeds. I always knew she planned to bury her ill-gotten gains on retirement, and ever since the news of her peaceful passing, I've spent 9 long years searching for it. I believe my final map will be the solution, and it seems some of her old lackeys have gotten wind of it as well. He's worth an arm around you. But worry not, you magnificent bastard. They can't touch us on the Z. Let's continue this noble quest, and half the reward will be yours, I guarantee it. Alright. And here I thought you were just doing this for, you know, the prestige or whatever of creating a map of the unmappable or something like that. So apparently it's just to find buried treasure. Fair enough, I suppose. Alright, let's get more crew. We got more thing. And, new recruit. Oh, what's this? Adopt a pony of cooperation. This wasn't here before. The little beast dances toward you on the dock. Does it want a friend? Endless nickering. Down the docks and back to your ship, the pony follows. With no apparent owner, it's not questioned as it trundles aboard after you, nuzzling happily at your hands. You don't really need a pony, you suppose, but the crew already seem quite taken with it. Alright. 3 hearts and 2 pages. Well, the pages bonus is not much, but the hearts bonus is certainly... Wait, no it isn't. Hang on. Okay, so I've already got mascots that that are better in a way, but if I had gotten this earlier, which I probably only didn't because the game was bugging out, it would have been fairly somewhat useful. Yeah, okay, I think that's everything. Now, next time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to swing by the Iron Republic, buy a shit ton of fuel, swing back up to the Cuban Canal, which isn't, and then go there, buy a shit ton of supplies on the surface, and fill a couple of mirror catch boxes. And no, I don't know what the fuck that whole fill all your mirror catch boxes prompt below the regular Cuban Canal thing is. I don't know where the fuck that's from. I just ignore it. Then, swing by the Grand Geode to set up the idol and the whole shrine stuff. And also gain access to the 7th Grand Geode that needs the sunlight. Wait, what was I gonna do there? There's something I was gonna buy there. I forget now. Hang on. Oh right, I was gonna buy some captivating treasures, but then I realized, oh yeah, I already have plenty of captivating treasures. So I don't need to do that. Well. Might still do that though. What would I buy there? I guess I could hang on. Well, I could trade some of my I could trade that because I can trade the box of Origo for 10. That stuff. But, yeah. Well, I could trade some of my captivating treasures or that box of Origo. Maybe some blue skintalak, actually. Something. I could trade something there for the lunar shroud, which is a bridge item, which gives a frankly massive bonus to veils. Yeah. So yeah, what I'm gonna do, what I could do there is I could trade my box of Origo that I got from the Nadir Palace, since it has no other uses besides being traded in the at the Grand Geode, and spend that and get 10 of the tokens, which I can then spend 6 of those to get the lunar shroud, which will which is a bridges item, which will increase my veils by 20. Which is a frankly ridiculous, a pretty sizable bonus for the bridges slot, certainly. Certainly much better than any of the auxiliary slot ones. And probably more useful than a bit of max hull. So yeah, and the remaining 4 tokens I could probably just spend on captivating treasures or something. Alternatively, I could probably grind for a couple more blue skintalak instead of spending my box of Rigo. But, no other use for it. Alright. And then... yeah, and then once I've done that, I can then swing my Port Carnelian in order to do that stuff. Wait, speaking of which, where do I get the, where there was a way to pick up some colonists somewhere? No, wait, I forgot. I can't get, I forgot about, I can't use the tomb colonist for that stuff. I forgot that picking up one in London was only a one-time thing. It's an ant that you can pick up an additional ones. And I have no idea where the fuck ant is. Also, they're kind of inconvenient. Okay, so I just need to make sure that I pick up a prisoner or something. Oh, but first, before I do any of that stuff, I need to swing by Gator's Mourn, do this up with the Pirate Poet. Which I really should have done already. Alright. And then I swing to Port Carnelian in order to do stuff with the Clatory Heart. Hopefully I can get more of the Clatory souvenirs before then. But if not, well, 70% chance is not a terrible chance. Alright, and then swing over to the Udder Shroom in order to pick up my reward. And you know what? Well, I might as well pick up an additional 7. Wait, that's a warehouse. Yeah, pick up some more Blummigans, and then we swing to Keener's Castle and finally finish that. And then we swing over to the Chelenate in order to finally finish the Armless Hunters stuff. Hopefully getting a prisoner along the way. Or maybe another live catch. Fortunately, I don't seem to have any, whatchamacallits. Swing to the Chelenate. Or maybe with the Gant Pull, I think I trade my current live catch for 7, or live specimens rather, for 7 strange catches, and I can trade those 7 for 7 live catches, or at least trade a couple of them, and then I can do that stuff. But hopefully I'll just get another prisoner or something, and not have to worry about it. Anyways, and then once I do that, I'll then... and also get 3 Doom Monster Hunters. I'll immediately swing back to London, to finish the Armless Hunters quest line, and then I will have, and then I'll use those 9 nunnery tokens. Oh, speaking of which, I need to sell one my monkey's uncle to the Iron Republic to get one of them. But yeah, and after all that, I'll have all 9 nunnery tokens, and I can in London, I can finally finish this whole big-ass Tales of the Grave Garden meta storyline. Well, more or less. But enough of that. Until then, I have been Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. So long, suckers.